Alrighty, let's get started. We're going to come in to our seats. Start by getting comfortable, right? Make sure that we just prepare ourselves for the fact that we are about to have class. So anything that's on your mind that doesn't necessarily serve you here in this moment, you can just flick it away. Maybe flick your wrist, flick the thought away. Start to connect to your body in an intentional way. Maybe that requires you closing your eyes. If you do keep your eyes open, just fixate your gaze in front of you, doing it in a way that you see detail. If you do keep your eyes open, see the detail, recognize the room around you. Do your best to not judge what you're seeing. You just want to start to connect to the present moment as it is. We can adjust our feet before we get started. Right now, my feet are in what's called hips width apart. So find your hips width apart. You take your two fists, press them together. Hug the inside of your knees around your two fists. Okay? So the two fists look like this. All right? And then you hug the inside of your knees around it. The reason why this is important is because you want to have your shoulders in line with your hips in line with your legs, this natural alignment. And then your feet will be parallel and apart. Because if your feet are like this, that can cause injury. This is just uncomfortable for the kneecap. So you're having knees stacked on top of ankles. And this is our base pose. I know we always go through it, but we always want to be reminded we come back to this place. And if you ever are in a pose and you feel like it's too much, you're welcome to just come back here as a resting place and then pick back up when you're ready. Okay. So look down at your feet, make sure they're parallel. Notice your toes, maybe wiggle your toes just so you know that they're there. All right. Take your toes and just lift them up. Continue to sit up nice and straight in your seat. And then gently place them down. And then lift up your ankles, lift up your heels, keep your toes pressed on the ground. And this is just so that you can notice that your sole of your feet, when it's connected to the earth beneath you, can be supportive. And if you move your feet in any direction, that kind of activates the sense of awareness that your feet are here. A lot of times we don't think about our feet. We forget that they exist. We forget that our lower body is here to support us. All right. So keep this in mind that it's part of your body. It doesn't leave, even if your mind wanders away from it. So we're going to make sure that our feet are secure on the floor, the soles of the feet pressing. You can even web the toes where you just press the toes down on the ground, press the heels on the ground, widening out those feet. And then notice how that also connects to your ankles, your legs, your knees, your thighs, your belly. And as you're sitting here with your belly, keep your feet positioned, but tuck the belly in. Sit up a little bit taller in your body. Allow for your rib cage to lift up through the heart. And then take the shoulders and just notice where they are. Give yourself permission to relax your shoulders. Let the shoulders fall down the back body. Okay? We have shoulders up here like this. We want to relax them down. Continuing to keep the mid part of our belly in our strength and our core area active and engaged, lifting us through the body. So we're completely active from feet all the way up to the head. You can take your hands and you can place them on your belly, or you can flip them up so that they are on your thighs. If you want to drop them down by your side, you can do that as well. Just find a comfortable home for your hands. Now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable. and start to just notice the body. And since we've done all these adjustments, notice the body from the head to the feet. Take a moment to just scan. It's really important for you to uh, kind of gauge the way you feel, gauge your temperature, so to speak. Notice any parts of you that could use a little extra love, maybe that are tender or tense. And just be aware of that while we're doing the poses and moving. Now start to bring the breath into your awareness and notice the way the belly rises and falls on each breath. If your hands are on the belly, you're going to actually feel the belly press against the palms of the hands. And then it's going to retreat back, navel to the spine. Just start to notice the rhythm of your breath. Also, while you're doing this, pay attention to any thoughts that might be dominant, any physical sensations that might be dominant in the body, something that just keeps drawing your attention to it. And see if you can bring a little bit of breath there, maybe with this intention to say, I'll be back. Like, I'm not here for that right now. I'm about to practice yoga. Coming back to the breath. Use that as a way for you to anchor to something that is within the present, not necessarily following where your attention wants to take you, but controlling your attention a little bit. We're going to do 2 more breaths and then drop our hands by our sides. And collectively, let's do a couple of breaths together just to kind of play with the rhythm of our breath. On your next exhale, let go of all the stale air in your body. Maybe when you do this, it makes a shh sound. Navel touches the spine. Inhale and breathe in. Hear the belly fill up like a balloon. Hear the chest fill up like a balloon. Let the air just come into the body and then pause for a moment and exhale and breathe out slowly. See if you can let your inhale be shorter than your exhale. So let your exhale run a little bit longer. If it was a race, the exhale would keep running. The inhale stopped like a mile back, but the exhale is still running the race. And then let go. On your next exhale, we're going to count together. Exhale all the air out of the body. And inhale and breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Pause. And then exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale and breathe in. 1, 2, 3. And pause. And then exhale. 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. And continue to do this for another 4 breath cycles. I want you to completely focus on the breath. Find your rhythm naturally. What is your natural rhythm and cycle of breath? Don't try to run past it. Don't try to adjust it in any way. I want you to know that whatever your breath is, it's enough. And you're going to bring this breath to your practice to contribute to getting the most out of it. Maybe you can even set an intention to give your all with each movement. Knowing that giving your all is simply by just being here, present, and being mindful of the way your body is connecting to the movement and to the breath. And if there is anything that you need to fill yourself up with, please do so throughout this practice. There might be things that I don't offer as a teacher, whether they are physical poses or maybe a certain kind of breath work, but you are welcome to add that into your practice at any time if you need it. And lastly, modify as you need to. You do not have to do everything or anything that I say. You're making a choice. Each movement and each breath is a choice. Respect and honor yourself. When you're ready, you can open the eyes. Start to allow the light to come in. Press your feet down into the floor. Sit up a little bit taller in your seat to readjust. And then we're going to take our arms and we're going to lift them up and reach them up overhead like we're waking up. And just kind of lift up with your right hand and then your left. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Stretch out. This will be like our mountain pose. It's just exaggerated a little bit. And then relax. Roll those shoulders down a little bit. Relax the arms. If you can, kind of just take the gaze up a little bit and begin to breathe in a way as if you are the top of the mountain pose. Gently, we're going to bring our hands down, but bring them to shoulders length. Extending the arms out, roll the shoulders up by the ears, and then relax them down the back body. Up to the ears, biceps and triceps do the work, then roll them down. This is that one time that I actually tell you to bring your shoulders to your ears and then roll them away. Well, every time I say roll your shoulders away, this is what it feels like, rolling down the back body. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to come up towards the ears and then press the shoulders towards the chest. Squeeze the biceps, squeeze the triceps, squeeze the belly, and squeeze the glutes. All right, we want to keep an active body. 2 more. I know your arms are getting tired. That's what we want. We want to have some resistance. As long as it's not severe, bring your hands down by your side. Anytime you're doing a pose, as long as it's mild to moderate, you're fine. The moment it becomes severe for you, disengage. Okay? Let's bring the arms up, reach them up high overhead. Inhale and breathe in, mountain pose. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. See what that feels like. Notice the way that feels. Breathing in, looking up, gazing up, and then arms come down. And this time we're going to bring our arms all the way down by our sides. All right. And now I want you to take your hands, bring them behind you, and just going in the opposite direction. We were just reaching for the sky. Now we're going to interlace the fingers and press our hands down towards the ground. You're going to kind of pinch the shoulder blades together. If you feel like you can't do that, just bring your hands to the back of your spine, right down here where the sacrum is, and just let your hands rest there, okay? Anytime that I offer that extended stretch, you can just keep your hands there. That's a modification. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Just so you can see. All right, hands come down by the side. Roll those shoulders back, kind of roll it out, forward and back. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's bring our chin to our chest. I want you to wiggle those toes. Make sure that your feet are active. Every time you forget about your feet, I want you to wiggle those toes. You're going to sit up tall. Make sure that you're not leaning forward like this. We're just bringing our chin to our chest and roll your right ear over towards your right shoulder. So if you're leaning out of your chair like this, try to keep both your sits bones onto the chair. Imagine that your sits bones are glued. Take your left hand and just imagine your fingertips can walk out from your body. And just walk to the place where you start to feel a little bit of this sensation, a little bit of that stretch. And just breathe. Gently bring the hand down by the side and then just relax it there. Still keeping your right ear to your right shoulder. If your hands are crunched for any reason, I want you to open those up and let the fingertips dangle. Roll your chin back to the center chest. I want you to walk your fingertips out both ways, like you're walking across the floor, and bring your hands to that point where you feel the stretch on both sides. Continue to keep the belly engaged. Maybe squeeze the bicep and tricep. Squeeze down into the fingertips. And then gently bring the hands down. Imagine too, when you're bringing them down, that there's a block there, and the block is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, so that there's something there. You're not just dropping your hands. You're steady and they're guided. We're going to bring our left ear to our left shoulder. Notice the rhythm of your breath. And when you're ready, take the right fingertips and walk them out. Know too that one side might be completely different than the other. Only go to the boundary of that sensation or tension, and then breathe through it. Nothing to do and nowhere to go. Gently bring the hand back down, guided and steady. Chin back to the center chest. This time both hands are going to come up overhead, and you're just going to gently take your fingertips, and I'll bring it up here like this so you can see it. Take your fingertips and they just touch the back of the dome. That's it. Just so you can see, I'm not pushing down or anything. I'm just gently laying those fingertips there. The elbows carry the weight, and that's what actually makes this pose work. It's just gravity. Gently take the hands, bring them out by the sides, and bring them down. Again, steady and controlled. Right ear to the right shoulder. Right hand is going to rise. Make sure that you're in your seat. Right hand comes down and it rests on the left side of the head, right where the temple is on the left side. Okay? So that's what it is. And again, there's no pressure. It's just sitting there gently. Think of the gentlest touch. Now, if you want to take your left hand and walk it out, you can. And then gently bring the hand down by the side if you did walk it out. Take the right hand, allow it to rise up, and then release it by the right thigh. And I want you to just roll back on that right shoulder. 4 times back. Breathing in and out. 4 times forward. And then relax. Chin back to the center chest. We're going to bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Beautiful. Left hand lifts. We're going to lay it on the right side now, the right side of the temple. And just breathe through it. You can, if you like, you could add the walking of the right fingertips. You don't have to. It's up to you if you want to. Bring that hand back down by the side if you did add it. Left hand lifts, lays down by the left leg. And then roll the shoulder back about 4 times. And then forward. Chin to the chest. Take both shoulders, lift them up, and then drop them forward. Just 2 times forward, 2 times back. Lift your head up. And now roll the shoulders up and back. matching the breath with the movement, and then forward. There we go. And that should loosen those shoulders up and that neck up so that when we go to do our head roll, we'll get the most out of it. All right. So now we're going to do a few head rolls. So we're going to take our chin to our chest and just roll. I want you to roll as much as you like or as little as you like. Okay. Try to do it about 4 times on each side, matching the breath with the movement. All right. And then come back to center when you're ready. I see some people still rolling, so we'll just wait. It's okay. Breathe in and breathe out. There we go. Beautiful. You might need a couple extra rolls. You really have to trust yourself here. All right. We're going to go through our first flow of the class. Now that our shoulders are nice and loose, I want to bring our arms into it, lifting up overhead. Squeeze the core. And your shoulders and your arms should not be doing the work for you. I want you, while you're here, to really feel your belly. Feel it, engage it, breathe into it right now so you know that this is the place where you're going to contract the muscles. Now, you're going to bring your belly towards your thighs. First thing, belly towards the thighs, then the chest, right? There's this way that it happens. The back is flat. And then you drop your hands on the ground. You just let them hang, chin to the chest. And really let the neck go. You just did a lot of work on your neck and body. Just let the head go. Maybe shake it yes and no, and just let it hang heavy. Let it decompress. Let gravity pull it the opposite way, where you're just letting it fall down like a rag doll. As you breathe in and out, you're going to feel the breath press against your thighs because it fills up the belly. And then on the exhale, it releases, and it might make you go a little bit more into the pose. Just keep your feet hips width apart. Take about 2 more breaths. Nothing to do and nowhere to go but to breathe. And you're going to wiggle your toes, and I want you to press your feet into the ground. Squeeze up through the belly. Come into a half lift, flat back. Bring the arms behind you. Hands are parallel to one another. Belly, chest, and then head as you look forward, getting ready to take off. Just like an eagle. Think about an eagle with like this hawk eye, getting ready to take off forward. Breathe in and out and just hold it. Those belly muscles that you're using right here, we're going to use them throughout this whole class. Breathe through it, stabilize. Keep using the ground for support, feeling this resistance press against the ground and helps you to bump up. And then gently come back down, belly towards the thighs. We're going to lift up through it this time. And we're going to go past our half lift, flat back, lifting up, gauging up, coming up, back into mountain pose. If you can, back bend slightly, back bend. Exhale, bring the hands down by the side. Arms come up, reach up, lift up, overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise, reach up, lift up, overhead. Hands come down by the side. Let's do that again. This time, I'm just going to say the inhales and exhales, and you follow with your arms and body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're going to have our hands together, bringing them to a palm press prayer. All right, take your left elbow, wiggle your left elbow. Yeah, there we go. We're actually going to bring our feet together. So toe heel your feet. You just doop, doop, one nice leg of energy. And I want you to just come down like an airplane and bring your elbow from left side onto your left leg. And look up and gaze up. Now, if you want, you can modify or you can go deeper into your pose by crossing your left elbow over towards the right thigh or hooking it over the right knee. So you have 3 different ways that you can do this pose. Mind you, it's the first one, so you don't have to go completely all in. Use the belly, help you lift up through the core, pressing your feet into the ground, pressing the belly together, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thigh, and that will help you keep that leg together. Come back up, look over towards your right side, keep your gaze there, and bring your hands to the outside of the right leg. Okay, so your left arm crosses over and your left hand is now pressing on the outside of that thigh. Your right hand is behind you. Now you can have it on the chair or you can bring it up, your choice. Or you can just have them both hanging to the side. Look over your right shoulder. And take about 4 breath cycles here to just breathe. Nice spinal twist. Take the arms, lift them up, reach them up overhead, come back to center. Breathe in and out, look up, gaze up, and bring the hands down by the side. Then bring the arms behind you and press the arms back away. Interlacing those fingers, and then hands come down and shake it out. Okay. Open up the legs. We're going to go through a flow and then we're going to come on to the other side. All right, so once you open up those legs, those feet, you're back into that base pose. Arms rise, lift up, reach up overhead. Squeeze the core. Exhale, forward fold. Belly presses to the thighs. Inhale, half lift, flat back, using that belly. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press up, lifting up, reaching up, bringing the hands together overhead, and hands come down to heart center, palms pressed. So heel the feet together, one nice strong leg. Take the right elbow, wiggle the right elbow. And we're going to take it and we're going to lay it on our right thigh. So right elbow, right thigh. Left elbow's up, our gaze is up. That's our first step. If we want to go further, if and only if we do, we can cross over just like we did on the other side. And you can completely cross over the knee if it's in your practice. The more that you twist, the more that you might hear cracks in your spine, and that's okay. As long as you're not feeling any kind of pain. Sometimes there's air in the bones and it can feel good to crack. But you don't want to pinch a nerve or anything, so only go as far as you can go. Slowly, we're going to come up. We're going to continue looking over to the left side. We're going to bring our hands to the outside of the left leg. Okay. Left hand comes behind us. And we look over the left shoulder. 4 breath cycles. Gently, we're going to bring our hands, reach them up high, come back to center. Hands come down by the side, shake it out. left and right. You can open up the feet, toe heeling them back to base. Breathe in and out. Arms rise, reach up, lift up overhead. Exhale, squeeze the core, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And this time I want you to stay there. Okay? I want you to stay there. Only bring the head up. And I want you to look up with your head. Keep the fingertips on the ground. Look up with your head. Exhale, drop the hands, drop the chin. Slowly, we're going to come back up to the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then eventually bringing our head up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Woo-hoo. Breathe in and out. All right. We're going to bring our arms, lift them up, bring them out in front of us, and then bring the hands overhead. All right. We're going to interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the ceiling, roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Inhale and breathe in on the exhale. Lean to your left. Keep the right sits bone down in the ground and then pivot back on that right shoulder. Gaze is up. You're opening up, you're bending to the side. You're just getting a nice stretch in the rib cage. Come back to center. You're going to lean to your right. This time your left shoulder is going to come back. Your left elbow is going to come back and gaze is up. Come back to center. All right. Hands undo. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Take the right fingertips. Bring the right hand down to the back. Take the left and place those fingertips on top of the elbow. And just stretch that out. Arms come back up. Take the left fingertips, bring them down the back. Right fingertips, pull back on the elbow. Yeah, there you go. Arms rise up. Bring the hands down. We're going to bring them behind us, but this time you can either grab your clothes or you can do namaskar. Backwards, prayer position. Okay? Remember, you do not have to touch the fingertips together. What you can do is just grab your clothing. And then undo and take your hands, roll the wrists. We're going to do a little bit of hand stuff. I love doing a little bit of hand yoga because it opens up the whole body. It's so important too because your nerves are here. There's all these other goodies that are in your hand and it helps you be grounded, right? So we're going to bring up our arms, roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Take your right fingertips, wiggle them. Wiggle the right fingertips. Sky flip the right hand. Take the left, pop it underneath, and pull back on that those fingertips. Press your wrist like it's coming forward. Now, some people's is going to look like this. Okay? So, it doesn't have to go all the way down. You might just be like this, and you might feel this intensely right here. That's because you might be dealing with tense muscles or carpal tunnel. So you don't have to look like me. Just try to feel the boundary of some kind of mild to moderate sensation there. And then we're going to start to move each fingertip, breathing in and out. If you need to take a rest, you can bring your elbows to your side, but keep the connection and then come back and pick up where you leave off. Good job, guys. Yeah, I see you now because I'm close. Good job. And when you get to the end, you just want to do that last one to kind of close it off. And then rotate that hand down. We're going to do the other side. Find a home, right? Let me go back just a little bit so you can see. Find that home. Start to do your rotations. Don't hold the breath. Breathe in and out. Only do what you can do. Remember, you can sit it out if you don't want to do it. Good job. Rotate. There we go. Awesome. Awesomeness. We're going to bring our hands back out. We're going to reach them forward. And take because we're running low on time, we're going to take our right fingertips, wiggle the right fingertips, bring the right fingertips to the shoulder on the left side. The left hand comes underneath and just hug ourselves with our elbows up and away from our chest. Chin to the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Chin to the chest, so you should be able to look down and see that hole in between the arms. We're going to slowly start to back bend the body. Keep the chin to the chest. And then come down into that forward fold position, but hugging yourself as you do it, and drop those elbows on the outside of the legs. You can keep your feet hips width apart. Keep breathing. This helps you to stretch out the mid-back, get some air back there. Sort of like that place if you put on suntan lotion you can never reach. The same is for the breath. So this is what that helps to do, is reach that area, using the breath to massage the mid-back. Slowly squeeze the core, press your feet into the ground. Using the ground for resistance, start to come up, lifting up. Elbows go up high overhead. Chin stays to the chest. So technically, you're still at eyesight level with your head. Only your elbows are up above your head. And you're breathing through the hole. I don't know if you can see it, but you're breathing through the hole. You can almost put your head through the hole, that triangle. Come back to center with your arms. You can open your eyes. And then unwind the hands. And just flutter them. And when you flutter them, keep the body active, keep breathing. Beautiful, beautiful. Arms come up, reaching up in front of you. Wiggle the left fingertips. Take the left fingertips, put it onto the right shoulder. Take the right fingertips. Come underneath this time, so you're doing the other side. Elbows come out in front of us. Chin to the chest. Slowly, you're going to back bend slightly, bringing the elbows overhead. Chin stays into the chest, and then come forward fold, resting the belly and the body on the thighs. Elbows come down over the knees. Still breathing in, still holding on to the shoulders. Good job, guys. Good job. Slowly, we're going to press our feet into the ground, and we're going to slowly start to come up, squeezing the core, squeezing the belly. Bring the elbows high overhead. Keep the chin into the chest. Continue to hold on to yourself in this hug position. Bring the elbows to center. And then unwind the arms. Yes, beautiful. All right, let's go through a flow. Arms rise, reach up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come up, they rise up. We're going to bring our hands down through heart center, and then we're going to place them onto our thighs. All right, we're going to do a few cat-cows. So we're going to come forward, gaze up, back bend slightly, look up, gaze up. This is our cow. And then when we push back, the back body protrudes. We do this almost every week in class. Chin to the chest, the scared cat. Come forward, Up we go. Exhale back. Gaze is up. And then back we go. 2 more. And we come back to center. Before we do anything else, I want you to keep your hands there, but I want you to open up the legs. So spread the legs apart. If you want to stretch out the inner thighs, we're going to press forward, bring our chest forward, okay? And then I want you to just lean to your left and press your hand into the inside of your right thigh. And breathe. Come back up to center. Chest is still forward. And then we're going to go to the other side. Press your left hand into the inner left thigh. You're leaning onto your right side. Come back up. We're going to press forward and then back. Forward and then back. One more. This time when we come forward, I want you to take your hands and then they're just going to ride. The fingertips are just going to ride down the inside of the legs, wrapping your fingertips around the ankles. Elbows are on the inside. You're going to lean over towards your right and lift up your hand. Look up, gaze up, pivot that left shoulder back. Keep your sits bone grounded into the seat. Take that left hand coming down the mid part of the leg. We're going to roll over to the other side. And this will be really good for us because we're opening up that sacrum area and the lower back. So when we go to stand, it's going to be looser. Bring that hand down. I want you to now take both hands, bring them together into a palm press position. Elbows are together. Elbows are connecting to the inner thighs. So inner thighs are here. Elbows are connecting to that. You're pressing your thighs into your elbows and your elbows are pressing back into your thighs. And breathe. And slowly bring the hands back around the ankles and just walk the fingertips up, walk the hands up, palm pressing or thumb pressing all the way up the thighs, taking your time, toe heeling the feet together. And before we come into standing, we're going to stretch out the lower legs, okay? So take your right foot, press it out in front of you, bring it back. Then take the left foot, press it out in front of you. You can hold on to the chair. Bring it back. Right foot. And this time I want you to bring the heel. All right, I want to make sure you can see me. Bring the heel down to the ground. The toes are like, hi, how are you? So your toes should be able to wave hello. This is a flex foot. We want to keep our foot in a flex foot. When we do finally relax it, it will come down a little bit. It won't stay like that. But just so that we know that our foot is in the right position, you want to just kind of be intentional about it to start. Take your left foot, cross it over. Now you can say just like this in this seated extended leg, or you can lean forward and start to forward fold a little bit. If you want to hold on to the chair, you can. Know too that you're going to scooch around a little bit until you get comfy. Chin to the chest. Again, we're going to press our belly towards the thighs. We're not going to hunch over. We don't want to have the hump in our back. We want to press the belly towards the thighs. And what that is going to do is that is going to stretch our lower back in all the right places and our hamstrings, because our hamstrings actually are part of the reason that our lower backs could be tense. So when you loosen your hamstrings and you're stretching them the right way, you could be loosening some of that tension in the lower back. And breathe through it. Do your best not to hold the breath. Try to find peace. Gently come back up. Belly, chest, and then head. Breathe in and out. We're going to take the left foot, press it out, and then bring the heel down to the ground. Take the right foot, cross it on top. Get yourself in your position. You know where you want to go with it. Start to press the belly. If you are doing a forward fold, press the belly down towards the thighs. Chin to the chest. Breathe in and out. Gently, we're going to come up. Belly, chest, and head. Bring both feet together. Let's go through a flow. Arms rise, reach up, lift up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Nice strong belly. You should be feeling that belly. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise, reach up. And what I want you to try to do is come up and lift up, standing through your chair, rising up through into mountain pose. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And now feel that mountain pose in a position where you are standing. Soften the knees. Keep the legs about hips width apart. Lift up, gaze up. If you need to have your chair in front of you, bring your chair in front of you. Just take the moment to bring the hands down by the side. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, see how we're doing with time here. We're not going to have a lot of time to do our standing stuff, so we're going to do some of the most important things. So come behind your chair. If I'm standing, take your time getting there. I'm here. Even though we're running low on time, I'm not going to rush the pose. Make sure if you are standing behind your chair that you start with soft knees. So right now, if your knees are rigid, you'll know. Maybe even prop up a little bit to just see your balance. Gauge your balance on your left side and your right side. Just getting a sense. Yeah. And notice if there's any place that you're wobbly, so you can just be mindful of it. I don't want you to fall, okay? So we're behind our chair. We're gonna slowly start to come back into our first downward dog, modified downward dog. We can bring our hands and our arms to the top of the chair like this and just kind of walk it out to start. If you're more advanced or you want to try this, you can bring your hands down to the second rung where the seat is of the chair. Okay. All times you keep the knees soft until you get to a place that you feel like you can really stretch them straight. And if you are walking out, this is what it looks like when you're walking the dog or wiggling your tail. Breathe in and out. All right. We're going to come up to standing, walking back up, taking it slow. We're standing behind. Right foot is going to stay by the chair. Okay, so right foot is going to stay forward. Left foot, wiggle your left foot, is going to come back behind you, and it's going to be at about a 45-degree angle. Okay, you want to have some space in between your legs. So I'm not in a straight line like this because I would fall. You want to have that space in between your legs. I don't know if you can see it. All right. Sit a little bit lower in your right thigh. Make sure that your knee is not running over, but that it's still stacked. All right. You want to bring your legs together more, you can to have that. Or if you're more, you do yoga all the time, maybe you're more flexible, you can open up wider. All right. Come into warrior one. We're going to make sure the way we start is that we bump our right hip back, let our left hip come forward. Squeeze the thighs. Imagine that there's a ball in between your legs. All right. If you're holding on with both hands, you can look like this. But the goal is for us to transition. So if you can, reach up with your left hand. Left leg is back. Left hand is up. Warrior one. If you want to lift up both hands, you can. That's all your choice. I'm just going to do it with the chair. We're going to open up into warrior two. Left arm comes behind us. Right hand is still on the chair. Right hand is still forward with the right leg. And then look over your right shoulder. So you're feeling that walk, so to speak, with those fingertips away from the neck. We're going to lean forward, bringing our right shoulder down to the chair, and then lift up. Here, you are going to be able to lift up with your hand, or you're going to have to bring your tips of your fingers to the top of the chair. Reverse warrior. Come back into warrior 2. Pivot around into warrior 1. Nice, strong warrior. Think about a nice, strong warrior in battle. And bring your hand down to the chair. All right. We're going to bring our left foot to meet our right, coming back up to the front of the chair. We're going to take our right foot and bring it back behind us. Left foot stays forward, bending the knee, making sure that the knee is stacked on top of the left foot. Left hand is going to be the one to anchor onto the chair. Before we get started, we want to get the lower body right, so we can bump back on that left hip, bring that right hip forward so that we're square with the chair. All right, if you want to bring both hands up, it looks like this, warrior 1. Otherwise, just the right hand is up overhead, warrior 1. Press into the outer rim of your right foot. Squeeze the thighs. So imagine there's that ball in between your thighs, lifting up through the pelvic bowl, through the heart. Your fingertips are spears to the sky. Open up into warrior 2. Nice, strong warrior, looking over the left side. You're looking over your left shoulder. Your right fingertips are away. You're walking those fingertips away from the neck. Lean the left shoulder down and then reverse back. Right hand comes to the thigh. Left fingertips are either on the tips of the chair, or if you're comfortable, your hand is up overhead and your gaze is up. Reverse warrior. Keep squeezing the lower part of the legs, the thighs. Keep feeling the ground, the feet connected to the ground. Come back, warrior 2. Pivot around, warrior 1. Both hands come to the tops of the chair. Bring your right foot to meet your left. We're going to close out the standing portion by taking a step back as far as we possibly can, extending our back to a tabletop, softening the knees though. So I want to make sure that keep the knees soft, okay? I'll move it like this so that I'm not out of the frame. Then eventually you can kind of straighten them a little bit, but start with soft knees. And just breathe through the full length of the back, all the way into the toes. Imagine that your breath can make it into your toes. Take the gaze up, look up, and then bring the chin to the chest, down, back bending slightly. And back up, and then down. And then stabilize. See if you can go even a little bit further in your stretch. Last breath. Gently walk slowly. 5. Bringing yourself back to the chair. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing up, lifting up, belly, chest, and then head. And let's come into a mountain pose, the same way that we started. And gently come back to sitting in our chairs. Hands come down by the side. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we're going to prepare for savasana. First off, we want to congratulate ourselves on a job well done, especially because you did not have to come today, but you did. Find a comfortable place for your hands. You can close the eyes. Just take note of your body once again, the same way that we started class. Feeling that full sense of awareness. Relax the feet, relax the legs. Maybe the knees fall apart from one another. Relax the belly, the chest, the arms, the hands. Let the tongue and the mouth fall away from the top of the mouth. Relax the eyes and the mind. And see for the rest of the savasana that you get out of it whatever it is that you require, whatever it is that you desire, as you continue to just embrace this accomplishment. Breathe in and out. You owe nothing in this moment but to be present. Continue to breathe just as you are, knowing that this is enough and that you are enough, moment by moment, breath by breath. If you'd like to continue in savasana or meditate, you're welcome to do so by leaving the session now. Otherwise, we will begin to close class together. You can press your feet into the floor a little bit to just reconnect. Breathe in deep and exhale wide. You can reset your eyes by allowing some light to come into them and maybe even connect by touching your fingertips together. I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and namaste. Thank you.